After breakfast, I left the inn and headed straight for the carriage stop. I needed to check the fares and departure times. Okay, so it's 1 gold coin for the trip, and it looks like it'll take about 4 days to reach Kiel's, the city near the border. There was still plenty of time before departure, so I figured I should stock up. 4 days worth of food and maybe a weapon, just in case something unexpected happens on the road. Of course, I can't just whip out my special skills in front of everyone. And using an item box, that's a rare skill, and it would definitely cause a scene. So, I went and bought a leather water bag, some dried meat, a few loaves of black bread, and a decent-sized knife. Alright, I'm all set. Now, all that's left is to get on that shared carriage and leave this royal capital behind. When I boarded, the carriage was already getting full. There was a family of 4, a young couple with their 2 kids and old peddler, and a woman who looked to be in her mid-30s. Plus, we had 4 adventurers along as escorts. Once the carriage started moving, I struck up a conversation with the old peddler sitting next to me. Just some small talk to start. So, what are you planning to sell in Kiel's? I asked. Oh, he said. I managed to get my hands on some soap from a particular company. I've got a contact in Kiel's. Who's interested in buying it? Soap? Ha! So they have soap in this world too! I asked a few more questions and learned that while soap exists, it's mostly a luxury item for nobles. A single bar can sell for about 3 silver coins to an aristocrat. That's pretty steep. Since we were on the topic of goods, I cautiously brought up item boxers. The old man told me that nobles and large merchant companies sometimes hire people with that skill. Apparently, about 1 in 1,000 people has the item box skill, but the size of the box depends on their magical power. If your item box isn't a decent size, you won't get hired by the big shots. The old peddler chuckled and said, even a small one can hold about 3 times what I'm carrying now. From my perspective, I'd be envious of anyone with an item box skill, no matter how small. So, it seems having a low-capacity item box isn't a big deal. Maybe I could get away with using mine if I just pretend it's a small one? Now that I'd tested the waters with the item box, I decided to ask about appraisal skills. If you really want to be a successful merchant, he said with a sigh, what you truly need is the appraisal skill. Ah, that's the dream for any merchant, isn't it? He continued. But the stories say only heroes summoned from another world have appraisal skills. Honestly, I think it's a skill that merchants need more than heroes. An appraisal skill. It's the ultimate dream for anyone in business. He then added, it would be nice if appraisal magic tools were more common, but they're so rare, usually found in ancient ruins, that they cost an eye-watering amount. Only a country or a major guild could afford one. Wow, that was good to hear. So, the appraisal skill is thought to be exclusive to summoned heroes. And there are appraisal tools, but they're incredibly expensive and rare. They apparently come from dangerous places like dungeons, which explains why there are so few. This is great news. It means the risk of someone appraising me and discovering my secret is almost 0. I'm really glad I asked. As we continued talking, I found out the old peddler was also planning to leave the country. He leaned in and lowered his voice. This country is starting to smell rotten. You know, in more ways than one. If I had a family, I couldn't just up and leave, but thankfully I'm on my own. I decided to get out as soon as I could. There are even rumors the border might close soon. The border might close? This country is even more unstable than I thought. I'm so glad I decided to leave when I did. The rest of the journey to Kiel's was relatively smooth. We did run into some goblins and a pack of wolf-like monsters, a classic fantasy world experience, I guessed, but the adventurer escorts handled them without any trouble. After 4 days, we finally arrived in Kiel's. I said my goodbyes and immediately went to find the carriage stop for the neighboring country, the one the old peddler had told me about. When I got there, my heart sank. There was a sign posted. Carriage service suspended. Suspended? What does that even mean? The peddler said, the border might close soon? Is this it? But if the border was closed, wouldn't the city be in more of a panic? Right now, the most important thing is to gather information. I spotted a nearby tavern that seemed popular with adventurers, the kind of people who would know what's going on. I went in to grab a bite and hopefully overhear something useful. I took a seat at the counter next to 2 adventurers who were already drinking. I decided to just be direct. "Excuse me," I said, trying to sound friendly. "You guys mind if I ask you a few questions?" One of them looked over. "Oh, what's up?" "Well, I just got into town, and I was hoping to get the lay of the land, ... I immediately called over the tavern keeper and bought a round for the two of them. That definitely put them in a good mood. "Well, you came to the right place," one of them said with a grin, and they started talking freely. It turns out the suspended carriage service isn't a full border closure ... yet. They stopped the carriages to prevent people from leaving the country, one explained. If the population drops, so do the number of potential soldiers and the tax revenue. It's just a precaution for now, but a full border closure could be next. The other adventurer chimed in. This country is already fighting demons on its northern border. But now, it looks like they're replanning to go to war with the Kingdom of Marble to the west. Yep. The first one agreed. It's only a matter of time before it all blows up. The alcohol was clearly loosening their tongues. So, this country is fighting demons in the north and about to start a war with the Kingdom in the west. My plan was to head southeast, to the Kingdom of Fernot. The adventurers were on the same page as me. "We're getting out of this country as soon as we can," one said. "I'd much rather hunt monsters for coin than get drafted into a war." "You should get out of here too, kid, while you still can." "I want to leave, believe me, but I can't just walk out of here alone. I'm a little stronger than the average person, but if I run into monsters on the road, I'm toast. What am I going to do?" Then, as I looked at the adventurers, an idea struck me. The Adventurers Guild? I could post a request. It'll cost me, but being stingy right now could be a fatal mistake. "The top priority is to get out of this country before the borders are sealed for good. It's settled. ILL go to the Adventurer S Guild and hire an escort to take me to the next country." Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more of my journey. See you next time.